Hello, everybody. Welcome to Walk It Off. My name is Carmina Mev. I am a certified health and Walk 15 coach and the founder of Walk It Off. Walk It Off, if you don't know, is a community of men and women who have chosen walking as their fitness activity. And today I want to talk to you about willpower and why I think it's overrated and what is much stronger and much more powerful than willpower. So, first of all, why am I talking about willpower? I think it's like pretty much understood, right? We at least we have this feeling that in order to accomplish things, we have to have willpower. So, we have willpower, so we're going to make ourselves do things and we're going to stay the course and so on and so forth. Well, what I would love to propose to you today is that willpower is highly overrated. So, first, you have to realize that we all have a finite amount of willpower, right? And as the day goes by, as it gets later in the day, we have less and less of it, which is why I usually recommend people work out in the morning because you have more willpower in the morning than you have late in the evening. So I want to give you a little example which I hope will help illustrate what I'm trying to say. So let's take the example of Mary and Jane. So Mary and Jane both have the same goal. They want to lose weight. They want to feel great. So they both go out and they buy, they stock their pantry with healthy foods, their fridge with salads. They go out and they invest maybe in a new exercise machine or a DVD, workout DVDs, so on and so forth. So they're really pumped. They're ready to hit their goals and they're running to hit the ground running. Jane, however, does something a little different, something extra. So she goes out and she enlists the help of a trainer or a coach, right? And you'll notice that during the day, Jane and Mary have different habits that they start building. Mary, doing for lunchtime, even though she brings in her salad and her protein, her fruits, she continues to sit around her with her coworkers during lunchtime who are definitely not on a healthy path and actually tease her about her healthy eating. Jane, on the other hand, she either eats with coworkers who are participating in some kind of health challenge, fitness challenge, so they are health centered, or she chooses to eat alone because she doesn't want to, get teased. Now, if you had to take a wild guess as to which one, Jane or Mary, is actually successful in sticking to their resolution, who do you think would win? If you guess Jane, you would be absolutely right. And it's not because Jane has more willpower than Mary does, right? It's simply because she tapped onto something much greater than willpower, right? Willpower will only take you so far. I'm not saying that it's not necessary, that it's not useful. It obviously is. But we give it way too much importance. And if your only strategy is relying on your willpower, I'm sorry to say that you're probably going to be disappointed unless you are one of those superhumans that, can move mountains with their willpower. Most of us are not, and that's who I'm speaking to. So, what is stronger than willpower? What is stronger than willpower? Oh, let me decline that. Is your environment. And this is the difference between Mary's strategy and Jane's strategy. Yes, when they started out, they both had the same intention. They both were going to assume that they were both just as serious about it. Hey, if you're just joining, hello, give me a comment so I can give you a shout out. So both Jane and Mary had the same intention, the same positive intention, but the one thing that Jane did differently is that she changed her environment. She changed it in a way that it would support her choices, right? And Mary didn't, right? So let me tell you how that plays a role. When we're talking about your environment, we're talking about two different aspects of it: your social environment and your physical environment, right? The physical environment is pretty, I think, easy to, it's pretty self-explanatory. So in your physical environment, they actually both did pretty well, right? So they got prepared, they got, their pantry was stocked with healthy food, their fridge was stocked with healthy foods, they had the DVDs or the exercise machine to make it easier, right, to follow their plan. But Jane did something extra, right? She got herself a trainer, a coach who was going to keep her accountable. And this is something that I found fascinating because throughout our childhood, right, throughout our early, most of our lives, we always have somebody to hold us accountable. When you're a child, you have your parents to keep you accountable. That's why kids brush their teeth. That's why they go to bed at a certain time. That's why they do their homework. At school, they have teachers. We have teachers to keep us accountable. Even when we become adults in our work environment, we have bosses, right? And they keep us accountable. The interesting thing is that the one aspect that once we become grown, we can almost feel guilty, right? If you were to have somebody hold us accountable, is when it relates to our health and wellness. Isn't that funny? Right? And you'll notice, what was it? Well, in the 70s or so, there was something that became very popular, and that was therapists, right? Why did therapists become popular? Well, because around that time, we as a society kind of lost that, how can I say it? Like, before that time, families lived together, right? You had grandmothers and aunts and cousins who made your social environment. And so you had an environment where you had people other than your parents, to hold you accountable, to give you guidance, to give you direction. But as, the modern days happened, whatever, we lost that, right? That extended family sort of disappeared. People moved further away, and we lost that element of, I can reach out to so-and-so for support. Right? We still can to a degree, but it's not the same. And so you'll notice around 60s, 70s, you have the, emergence of therapists. The unfortunate thing with therapists is that it kind of carries a negative connotation a little bit, right? You say, well, I'm going to see a therapist. People automatically assume there's something wrong with you. Like, you don't go see a therapist if everything is okay. And so now in this day and age, something that's starting to emerge more and more is the advent of coaches, right? So you have all sorts of coaches, from life coaches to health coaches to money coaches, and that's kind of the void that they feel. And that's one of the things that Jane did that separated her from Mary's, is that she got herself somebody to support her in her journey and keep her accountable. The other thing that Jane did that Mary didn't do, Jane catered to her social environment. In other words, the people that she surrounded herself with, right? Jane surrounded herself with people who were supportive of her goals, right? I mean, if you're constantly surrounded by people who, health is not a priority. So if you guys are going out, you're going to eat burgers and chicken fingers, and even worse, you get teased and you get made fun of when you make healthy choices, then guess what? It's no surprise that you're not going to stick to those healthy habits because your social environment does not support it. That is not to say that we're going to drop people out of our lives just because they're not health nuts. No. However, if truly that is your goal, then you're gonna have to make some tough choices and maybe limit, right, the time and the opportunities that you have to hang out with certain people. And on a more positive note, you're going to start branching out and looking for people who share the same goals, right? I mean, if you are a member of Walk It Off, it is so much easier to stick to your fitness goals because you're surrounded by people who have the same vision, the same goal, and it just fosters naturally this environment where you want to push each other to the next level, and you're encouraged, right, when you see other people doing things that you wish you would do, right? If you're in an environment where that's never presented to you, where it's not a concern, then naturally that's going to just fall off your consciousness because you're not surrounded by it. So if, like me, you are one of those people who doesn't have a lot of willpower, do not despair because willpower is so overrated. Instead of using your willpower to resist temptation, right? Use your willpower early in the day and far in advance to set up your environment to support your goals and the things that you want to accomplish. So that's our show for today. And I wanted to let you know before we finish this broadcast that if you don't know, we are doing something really super special. The day after Labor Day, we're starting a 30-day fit and healthy jumpstart. It's only 30 days, and 30 days within which you're really gonna focus on your health. We're gonna focus on what you're eating. It's not a diet, but we're gonna focus on what you're eating. We're going to amp your exercise routine and really put you on the right path. I mean, if you're a mom, if you're a parent, with the September starts this new school year, God knows we need all the energy that we need to deal with that time of year. So I would strongly encourage you to join us. It's going to be fun. It's going to be, you're going to get resolved, but you're not going to feel like you're suffering through it. It's going to push you, but it's also going to be, you're going to put yourself in that environment that supports your goal. So I have an event posted on this page, so be sure to click on it to get more information. And I hope to see you on the other side. All right, everybody. See you tomorrow, I hope. Take care. Bye for now.